Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerd.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is The Last of Us, Episode 2. On Crave, it doesn't have the episode title up yet because they like to hide it until like 2 hours after it's out.
Yeah,
so
it gets as a secret.
It's just Episode 2.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
I am ready. I got my Last of Us shirt, so I'm good to go.
Oh, because it's got mushrooms.
I forgot
what
about
are you
this
talking
shirt
about?
for a while, and then I was like, what am I going to wear for this? And
It's
I
a
was like,
fungus.
I found it.
I'm very curious to see what they do here. I feel like the first episode really hewed towards the game in a smart way. But the middle of the game, I feel like, is more open to adaptation. There's kind of a beginning and an end that I feel like they have to hit really hard. And then there's a middle here where I'm curious to see how they tell the story.
Yeah.
Because they have to cut out a lot, right?
Yeah. And having not played it, like, I understand what the story is.
Yes.
Like, in a kind of beginning, middle, and end sense. But a lot of the middle, I didn't experience. I actually don't know exactly how it unfolds.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what's coming.
I'm excited. I have less expectation now of what they have to do.
Yeah.
And I'm more excited to see what they choose to do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you want the full interaction, go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. And if you don't, well, then stay here. You're already here. And the video is about to get real scary. Jakarta.
Oh, another flashback.
And thus they're like, actually, Indonesia was fine throughout all of...
No, Jakarta was on the news.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When they're...
That was the most... What did I do? Look you could possibly give.
She a scientist?
Yeah, I'm thinking...
to see the beginning?
Yeah.
Apa Bapak tidak salah orang? Andre Bu Ratna, Professor Mycology.
Yep, there it is. We have a mushroom emergency. I know that sounds crazy, but...
Yeah, hear me out.
Yeah, how do you be like, yeah, so, you know those mushrooms? They're making people into zombies.
Yeah, you're never gonna believe this.
Because that would be a insane thing to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you study mushrooms and you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, she's like, finally, all that work paid off.
Ibu mungkin
Pendapat berat yang saya butuhkan.
Okay.
Bit pushy for a cop, but you know, telling the scientist what to do.
Kami gunakan sebagai persiapan pengambilan sampel dari tubuh manusia, Bu Ratna. Cordyceps tidak bisa bertahan pada manusia.
That was a harrowing look in his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep.
This is not what I expected this show to do.
No, actually.
But this is... If this entire episode was this, I'd be fine with it. This is so well done.
This is not in the game, right?
No, not that I remember.
Yeah, like, we don't find out really the beginnings of it.
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. What?
Oh, it's gonna bite her. It's gonna come back to life. I'm just very uncomfortable because it's a zombie. There's a naked woman for everyone who's like, why is this blurred?
It's been shot in the head. It's fine. Yeah, for those of you who can't see what's going on because this is on YouTube and we can't show nudity.
Ini gigitan manusia.
This is rad.
Yeah.
Gloves are so thick, girl. Oh, that was so cool.
It was something...
Terima kasih, Pak. Silakan.
She's like, this isn't a mushroom tea, is it?
Lalu bagaimana dengan orang yang digigitnya? Dibawa untuk diobservasi. Sayangnya beberapa jam kemudian, telah menjadi keharusan sesuai dengan prosedur. Mereka harus tetap dieksekusi. Jadi artinya mereka masih berkeliaran di luar sana.
She's bit on the bottom of her leg, which is like the 24-hour one. Oh no. Oh no!
I mean, we already know what happens.
I know, and yet somehow this is still so effective.
Yeah. Oh no,
that's weird, right?
It's very well done.
Jadi tolong dengarkan saya baik-baik. Tidak ada obat dan tidak ada vaksin. Jadi apa yang harus kami lakukan? Bom. Mulailah pengoboman. Bom seluruh kota dan seluruh orang yang ada di dalamnya. Saya hanya ingin bersama dengan keluarga, dengan suami dan anak-anak saya.
Okay, if that woman does not win the whatever the like guest star Emmy is next year,
yeah, seriously,
we're doing it wrong. Wow, what a fucking performance!
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that was good. I don't feel okay. Woo! Okay, wow, fuck me.
Yeah, I was not expecting us to get the beginnings.
Mm-hmm. The turn in her eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, wow. Yeah, seriously.
Well done. Holy fuck.
Because there is that like guest star Emmy, and like she already won it. I don't care what other work actors do this year.
Morning.
That's not creepy at all.
No.
They'd make me count to 10 and hold out my hand and then keep it steady. But you know, I think what really impressed them was the fact that I didn't turn into a fucking monster.
Back there, you can find a spot.
God, I don't know what I would do without running water.
There's not gonna be anything
Or
bad in
tissue
here?
paper.
Just you.
Oh, funny.
Oh, yeah. The human skull will do that to your hands.
Maybe a hairline. It'll heal fast.
Sure.
So if you pick up a med kit, you can just kind of wrap your arm around and you'll be fine.
Oh.
Is that chicken?
Yep. Or until they get it from smugglers.
How would it still be good in her backpack for a day? It's not like she has a thermos.
She told me not to tell anybody, and I'm telling the first people that
Well, the alternative is they kill you, so.
Yeah.
there's a Firefly base camp somewhere out west. They're working on a cure.
I've heard this before.
And whatever happened to me is
the key to finding the vaccine. That's what this is.
It doesn't matter if she is or she isn't what the Fireflies say. If they believe that she is, then we get what we want.
If she so much as twitches.
Don't.
I would do that.
You would do that.
Can I have a gun?
Absolutely not.
That sandwich definitely has salmonella, though, right?
Maybe if she's immune to fungus, she's immune to bacteria and stuff too.
Or maybe it's been like jerkied chicken. I don't know.
There's a lot of salt in it. It's really salty chicken. I think salmonella just if it's undercooked?
I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie. All I know is that if you leave your chicken sandwich out overnight on the counter and then eat it, you're not gonna have a great day.
Probably not.
Yeah, looks different in the daylight, huh?
That looks great.
It looks well done.
Is this where they bombed?
Yeah. They hit most of the big cities like this. They had to slow the spread somehow.
Clearly it worked. So,
I mean, some humans are still alive, so I guess something worked.
If the virus spread in 2002...
2003,
they never saw Return of the King. How sad is that? Or like Revenge of the Sith? They only got the first 2 parts.
That's the true tragedy of The Last of Us.
Yeah, that's the tragedy.
Yeah.
The reason I was thinking about that is in the first Lord of the Rings movie, you know when they're like, mushrooms, and they get all excited?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen for them. They see that part of the movie and they're like, why are you... No.
Don't touch
mushrooms.
it. If you lived in this world, would you ever risk eating a mushroom again?
Fuck no.
Mommy, you got some balls on you, sister.
Thanks.
Don't encourage her. Well, actually, she can't get bit, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they could still rip her jugular out, you know?
Oh, she can bleed to death, for sure. Yeah.
Everyone said the open city was crazy. Like, swarms of infected running around everywhere.
Not exactly like that.
You know, people like to tell stories.
Oh, this camera's moving too much for me.
Yeah, it's a lot of camera shake. It is one of the things I don't like about the first game, is that some of the camera shake is rough if you play for a long time.
What?
The building in the background there. I know the person who lives in the penthouse of it.
Ah, nice.
The first house I ever lived in is just in the back of that shot. When I was a baby. Obviously, it's been, like, a lot of it has been changed to make it...
Well, a lot of the buildings have been, like, added, for sure, but...
But every once in a while, there's a section of the shot that I'm like, oh, that is Calgary. Wow, what a set.
No, a little out of our league.
I don't even know what this is.
Have you heard of books? Well, I don't know how to swim.
Seriously?
Do you think we have pools in the QC?
No, smart ass. I mean...
I don't know how I was supposed to know that.
Oh, I thought it was going to be one of the missions where Joel drags Ellie around on a dinghy.
Because I can't see through the water, there's going to be something.
Ding, ding. Yes, sir, I would like your finest sweet.
I would maybe not press the big noisemaker.
Right away, ma'am.
You're a weird kid.
You're a weird kid.
Oh my god!
You scared me! Jesus. You motherfucker.
Don't forget to find the safe combination before you leave the hotel lobby. It is weird trying to talk about this without spoiling the game at all.
Yeah, well.
This is a no spoilers reaction. We should say that at the beginning.
We should, yeah.
Holy shit.
Come on, it wasn't that
I'm
bad.
loving this.
You try climbing 10 fucking floors with our knees. See how you feel.
I relate to that more every day.
You children, with your good knees, your good stomachs, you don't have IBS.
And open it from the inside?
No, well, I'm the smallest, so it'd be easier for me to get through.
But you die and you get nothing.
This is the kind of survival stuff I'm not helpful in, because I do not fit through, so...
That's why you got me.
I can lift you up, but that's about it. Joel was like, we need to take her back to the QZ, but they did kill that guard. Getting back in is probably a lot harder now, because they found a dead guard beaten to death outside of the...
Yeah, if nobody knows that it was them out there, then if they can sneak back in, they're okay, but...
But yeah, even if nobody knows that it was them who did it, I feel like security's probably heightened. Getting back in is probably a lot harder than...
Yeah.
Where'd you learn to do that?
The circus. What about Tess?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Was. Is doing a lot in that sentence.
How long do infected live?
Oh, I thought you went to school.
It's a really shitty one.
Oh, shit.
He went inside seeking shelter. And that's how they get more and more of the city, bit by bit, year after year.
Oh, Jesus.
You understand? It's important. I'm trying to keep you alive.
Thanks, Mom.
The way the way that it moves, like it's a pile of bodies that move like fungi. It's horrifying.
Museum.
If you look left on your tour,
you'll find Robin Williams.
That's such a weird joke.
It was a good movie, okay?
It's a great movie. It's a 3 great movies and a good TV show.
Do you think what's-his-face is going to show up as a zombie?
Bill Murray?
Ben, whatever his name, the guy, the night guard from Night at the Museum?
No. I do not think Ben Stiller is going to be a zombie.
That's the Ben.
Oh, cool.
It's bone dry. Could mean they're all finally dead in there.
Maybe.
I have a spare hand.
Congratulations.
Like, just because the furthest piece was dry doesn't mean it all is.
They don't have a choice. They have to go some way. I really have to commend the composer, because the atmospheric music of this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, the score has just been so perfect.
Do you ever learn in the game what the identifying features of the, like, actual fungus is?
No. The fungus isn't as, like, prevalent the way that they've made it in the show, which I think has been a really smart change. You spend more time trying to learn the different zombie types.
I guess we should have gone this way in the first place.
Oh, shit. I don't hear it. Who would you hear? Who would you hear?
Okay, from this point forward, we are silent. Not quiet. Silent.
Whoa.
No questions.
Ah, okay. I need to get that out. I'm not okay. I would die in a zombie apocalypse immediately.
Yeah, I would give up. Like,
I make too many noises.
I'm not made for this.
My yawns?
You're dead.
Oh my god, I'd be so dead. Oh my god. Did a helicopter just land on the roof? What the fuck just happened? Oh, the like little like touches of the faces and the arms and the legs.
Yeah.
Ugh. The amount I want this to be an all-day thing at a movie theater and see this on a big screen is high. This is incredible.
I'm okay.
You don't have to come.
Okay.
I'll go with people who have courage.
Go for it.
Courage! That was a joke. You're very brave.
I'm really not.
I mean, I'm surprised you're watching this with me.
It's fine, you just gotta stab him in the right spot, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they have any shivs. What a shot. Whoa! No! Oh, it's bad! Oh, it's so bad! Ah, no! Oh, I thought he was just gonna get it, but no! Ah!
He's still level 1 Joel at this point.
Oh no, did he lose the rifle?
And there's probably loot somewhere, right?
Oh, that was smart. What a shot.
don't like it.
Oh boy. This is the game that I remember. Very slowly walking on the... Oh shit! Oh. Oh, she got it in the ear. Brilliant. Wow. There really is not that much ammo left. You've got to be careful with it. I make jokes when I'm uncomfortable.
You alright?
Well, I didn't shit my pants. I mean, if it was gonna happen to one of us.
She's like, how did I get bit twice? Well done. Well fucking done. God damn it.
Over there?
Yeah, no, looks scary.
That was scary. This is wood.
Just like Mahomes yesterday.
Is it everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, you can't deny that view.
That golden dome. Iconic. It's almost cheating.
What?
Using the best shots of the game. Like, I vividly remember this moment.
Yeah.
God, they're doing such a good job. This is incredible.
Why are we seeing?
I know I hate close-ups on feet because
I
I'm
know.
always worried about what it means.
I know. It's one way to build anxiety.
That's a lot of blood.
That's not a good sign.
Oh, fuck.
They went inside.
Does she have Witcher senses? She's
No,
like,
I think she just saw the blood.
yeah, let's follow the trail of blood. That can't
Never
go poorly.
goes wrong.
Holy shit.
Leave now. Leave now. For the love of God, leave now.
Fuck. She's infected.
Show me.
Yes, you will. I never ask you for anything, not to feel the way I felt, not to... You shut the fuck up, because I don't have time.
Oh, fuck! You have a knife.
Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. Okay, yeah.
What are you doing?
Making sure that they don't follow you.
Let's go, Tess.
Fast and loose. Okay.
They don't have a lot of time. Oh, I hate it. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
That was awful. Oh. I don't know that I will ever unsee that.
No. Yeah, God.
Oh man, for the actor's sake, I hope that was all CGI.
Yep.
What a champ. Pour one out, you know? God damn.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That is fascinating. Really interesting. A change, right?
Yeah, you know, she's important enough of a character that, like, having her death off screen is, I think that, you know, does a disservice. And when you can adapt and when you can, like, hone in on those moments of, like, humanity, I think that you do, right?
Her death isn't off screen in the game.
Don't they just, like, leave her in the room and she's just shooting? Like...
No, kind of. But, it is a very different situation. Oh. I don't want to spoil the game. This is where the line gets weird, right? Because, like, Tess's death in the game happens very differently through the necessity of... There are other characters who are alive when they get to the Golden Building in the game. And so to remove all of the other living humans and make it just about the zombies, I think is actually a really smart choice for the show. Because it's a lot of characters that you don't need. Yeah. And I think that the emotional impact of Tess's death and the emotional impact of Ellie and Joel leaving alone with Tess giving him the mandate of you take her, you go do the thing. Yeah. I think that it is just as effective without the added weight of the other narrative that happens there.
Okay.
I think that if you want to play the game, there is more to that scene. Gotcha. And there are other things going on. It's a lot longer, obviously, because of the gameplay of it.
Yeah.
Getting through the hotel is a level... You know, that isn't just like, oh, Tess opened the one door and we're through. Yeah. There's a progression to it, and it's fantastic. But I think that stripping all of the like gameplay stuff out of it and stripping the narrative that isn't as focused on Joel and Ellie and focusing it really on Joel, Ellie, and Tess as their relationships to one another and not to like the necessity of the scene as it's playing out is actually really smart and is a wonderful adaptation from the game to this.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm remembering incorrectly. Like I said, I never like played it. I only watched other people play it, and so that's where my information comes from. But I knew it was different. But yeah, this was like very dramatic, but in like the best way, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is going to take a whole other episode because there's people that have to be introduced that they didn't, that I think was smart of them not to.
Right.
And leave it off, go to Bob and Frank, you know, like let's get the story going, let's get these relationships moving.
Yeah.
And instead of spending the beginning of the episode introducing those people so that this would make sense, taking the beginning of this episode to go to Jakarta and show, like we said, that incredible performance by that actress, in the doctor role and the police officer as well. I thought the two of them played off each other really well.
Yeah.
But the beginning of this episode was as harrowing as anything else in this episode. And just really, really cool. Like the way they're adapting this story to make it more visceral and also like lean a little bit harder on our real world perception of what a global pandemic is, having lived through COVID.
Yeah.
In a way that I don't, it might have, but I don't know that the Jakarta scene would have hit as hard in 2019. Because there is more of a, because I remember watching Contagion during the pandemic. When we were in quarantine, the second time we were in quarantine in Calgary. And because I remember seeing that movie in theaters, being like, wow, this would be crazy. And then watching it in the pandemic and being like, oh yeah, this is obviously exaggerated to what happened, but not by much. And so, yeah, the Jakarta scene I think is a really interesting addition because now we have just more of an emotional connection to how a global pandemic starts and how it grows.
And we have a better perspective.
Yeah. Right?
Like for a long time, and before COVID, like the spread of something was never quite so vast Like, not in the same way. There were obviously diseases that, like, spread and traveled and such. But COVID is on such a scale that, like, is really hard to imagine before witnessing it. Like,
it was an
literally.
academic idea.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I mean, people had been saying for years that it was only a matter of time, and it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, having that perspective, and if it wasn't COVID, if it was something else, then that's really the only, like, change in a sense.
I just think that the adaptation benefits from having a slightly more global view of the situation. Because in the video game, it is better to stick with the character that you are controlling because it makes the video game feel more real.
Yeah,
but
personal.
In a television show, the scope of the perspective that we expect to watch TV from is different.
Yeah.
And I think that by giving us in the first episode, it was that incredible TV studio scene. And then this episode, it's the Jakarta scene.
Yeah.
I think that by giving those, it sets the adaptation apart without having to change anything about the actual storytelling within our character's narrative.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of, like, because Wheel of Time did a similar thing with the, like, cold open and then the post credits.
Yeah.
Or not post credits, but after the initial credits, like, being the main story. But then we get these flashbacks and things before that. I just think it's a really smart narrative device to make sure that this is, because it hews so close to the game.
Yeah.
And some shots feeling
identical.
Feeling like you could be like, oh no, this is actually the PS5 remaster, right?
Yeah.
They're so close to the game in the narrative where we meet a clicker for the first time. Like these things that the show is doing. I think that it's so effective in hewing close to the source material that the big changes it's making, other than kind of the end of this episode in the hotel, the big changes are happening through these scenes that are just world building, because you can't pick up documents and read documents in the start menu the way that you can in the game to get the backstory.
Yeah, exactly. You have to deliver the information to the audience through a different medium than in a video game. And so I think that's, if I were to do a video game adaptation, that's where I would take liberties, and that's where they are taking liberties, because you can't copy and paste it. You have to... You have to get creative in some ways, and I think it is very smart of them to be, like, so seamlessly blending the, like, staying true to the game and also giving us new, different, extra information.
Yeah, and I'm just grateful that those scenes, to me, feel of a caliber with the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And it's not like there's, like, a throwaway moment and then the show begins.
Yeah.
I feel like those scenes are just as good as the show that comes after.
Yeah.
And that's incredible to me.
They don't stick out in, like, a negative way. They feel very much like part of the world and very relevant. So, yeah, well done.
One thing I'm really grateful that the adaptation didn't do, because I think there was a concern for me that they would soften Joel at the beginning, just because it's a
easier to have a relationship.
Well, no, it's just because it's easier to... It's harder in live action with an actual child. Obviously, Bella Ramsey is, I believe, 19, but they are playing a child.
Yeah.
It is like... I was worried that they would be worried about the live actionness of it and soften their relationship at the beginning.
Because it's a child.
Yeah. And I'm glad that they've allowed for the performance to be as gruff and as true to the character Joel from the beginning of the game as possible.
Yeah, I think it would have been a poor choice, because then the turn and what his relationship with Tess is and her influence in what happens next, I think that really diminishes it. So I'm also glad that they stuck with it. 100%.
In my experience in my life, in adaptation, people make easier choices that end up being poor choices. And so they went with the right version of it. Yeah. I'm just grateful for that, because it's working so well. I think all three of the main performances in this episode, and the five, like the cop and the doctor in the beginning, and then Tess, Joel, and Ellie throughout this entire episode, I thought they're all fantastic.
And the people who are playing the zombies, like
the two
physicality.
Stunt actors who did the clickers. Like
wild.
Yeah, well done.
The coolest part to me, and I don't think I said this at the beginning of episode 1 either, but like the I can literally watch how like a fungus that is not a human and doesn't have like limbs and doesn't understand how those things work. Like you watch it figure out how a body works, right? Because it's like controlling it, and like especially in the scene where they were getting chased through, I think it was like almost like a convenience store or a gas station of some kind or whatever, and the zombie is going so fast and it keeps flying over the counters and like missing its mark because it doesn't understand how to like stop yet, or like it doesn't understand how to like have control over its own faculties, and it's horrifying, but like so well done. And that whole extra layer, and then again with the clickers, them moving differently than just your regular old zombies. Like, you know, not everybody just like shuffles along. There's the many different kinds, and it's awful, and I hate it and I love it.
There really is an inhumaneness to the movement of the infected. Yeah. And you're right. That it ups the ante on the show. And again, like the score visually, I just think like this is the epitome of what really well-made television is, in especially genre television, because it is everything's so specific.
Yes.
And the specificity is making the show feel real. And you can see I'm freaking out. Like, this show is fucking with my head.
Yeah.
And it's doing it so effectively. I'm in love. I love this so much. And
Thank
as
you
someone
for hurting me.
who loves both games very deeply, this is exactly what I wanted from the adaptation. Great performances, really, really emotional, connected television that isn't just about, hey, look how cool this is, but is really about like, hey, like, let's fall in love with these people who are really tough to love at the beginning.
Yeah.
And and Tess, man, like,
Pour one out.
Yeah, I knew it was coming, and it still hit me.
Yeah.
It's really good. So
yeah, it was well done.
Let's go. We'll be back next week. Oh, no, we won't. Episode 3 is going to be up late because we're not going to be able to watch it the night that it comes out because we will be on a plane. But the week after that, Sunday, we'll have the episode 3 go up early so that you can do a little bit of a like catch up with episode 3 before episode 4 drops, and then episode 4 will drop Monday like it usually does.
Hell yeah.
On the whatever that is, the 5th or something. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave mean comments down below because the algorithm god, she's hungry and we must feed her. In this episode, the algorithm goddess is, of course, Tess, because none of this happens without her.
Truly.
Yeah, she's the catalyst, if you will. Great Star Wars book. If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
And as always, y'all, do something nerdy tonight. And
bye, guys.
Don't eat mushrooms.
Yeah,
Gross.
yeah. No,
I don't know if I'll ever eat mushrooms again.